Are you thinking about buying your first house in Belgium, but you don't know where to start? Whether you live in Flanders, Brussels, or Wallonia, this video is for you. Please stay until the end because in this video, I will explain where to find houses in Belgium. I will also explain how much it really costs to buy a house in each region and what options you have if the bank refuses your loan because of low income or because you are a single parent. There are government programs out there that can finance up to 100% of the purchase price. And finally, I'll also give you important tips you must know before buying your first home. So let's get into it. So once again, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hawa, and on this channel, I share finance tips and money opportunities in Belgium and across Europe to help you take control of your finances. If you are interested in personal finance, you want to learn more about how to save money, how to make additional income, and similar topics, make sure you subscribe to my channel. So the first thing we need to talk about when it comes to buying a house is, of course, the budget. If you haven't watched one of my previous videos where I talk about how to buy a brand new house with 6% VAT in Belgium, I'll leave the link below so you can go and check it out. In that video, I also talk about the importance of knowing your budget. It is very important to know how much you can afford to pay every month. For example, if your income allows you to buy a house worth 200K, I personally think it is better not to go to the maximum. It is better to look for a house of 180K or 190K euros. This way you give yourself some breathing room and you don't put too much pressure on yourself financially. So living below your means is very important. You do not want to choke yourself with bills. You want to be able to live a normal life while still paying your mortgage comfortably. So you are the right person to calculate how much you can afford to pay every month. You should ask yourself, like, how much can I pay every month and still live a normal life? You can do this calculation online using different websites, such as banking websites. If you live in Flemish region, you can visit the website called hypotheekwinkel.be. Or if you live in Brussels, you can also visit similar websites to calculate. This is where you enter your income and your expenses, and then they will calculate how much you can afford or how much the bank may be willing to lend you. After that, you can make appointments with them. Once you know how much you can borrow, you can start searching for houses. There are different websites where you can find houses in Belgium. Here is the list of popular websites. You can go and check it out. So on this website, many real estate agents post their listings, and private sellers can also list their houses there without going through a realtor. You can also visit real estate agency directly and they can help you find a house. So another option is buying a house through a bidding process. You can do this by visiting a website called Biddit.be, which was created by notaries in Belgium. Some people prefer to sell their houses through a notary instead of the traditional real estate agent, so they use this website. All the houses listed there are sold through notaries. You can see all the listing, get the contact details of the notary, and visit the house before bidding. Usually there is a bidding period of about 5 to 7 days. During this time, interest buyers can place bids online. To bid, you must register on the website using your identity card. This process is very official, so you should only do it if you are serious. If you win the bidding, the process moves very fast. In many cases, everything is completed with about 1 month. The minimum bid increase is usually 1K euros. For example, if the current bid is 59K euros, the next bid must be at least 60K euros. The highest bidder wins the house. So next, let's calculate how much it costs to buy a house in Belgium. There are different places where you can get a loan to finance your mortgage. You can get a mortgage through a bank. You can also get through a mortgage broker who will compare different banks' offers at the same time for you. Through a private lender, these are companies that offers financing outside of the traditional bank mortgage system, or through social and regional housing loan programs. In this video, I will only go deeper into two options: getting a loan from a bank and getting a loan through a government housing fund. So let's say we want to buy a 250k euros house in Flanders, Brussels, and Wallonia through a bank. Banks are very strict when it comes to mortgage loans. In most cases, you need at least 10% of the house price as a down payment. Sometimes the bank will only finance up to 80% of the value. For example, if the house costs 200k euros, you need at least 20k euros in savings. Banks ask for this because they follow strict rules from the National Bank of Belgium. These rules exist to protect the banks and also the financial system in case of economic problems. So for example, if a bank receives 100 loan applications, they may only allow around 30 to 35 people to borrow 100% of the purchase price. So for all regions, for our 250k house we are planning to buy, we will need 25k as a down payment. So next, we need to pay registration tax. This is a tax paid to the government. In Flanders, it is now 2%, in Wallonia 3%, and in Brussels 12.5%. These rates are only for first-time buyers. So in Flanders, we pay 2% of the 225k euros, which is 4,500 euros. In Wallonia, we'll pay around 6,750 euro. And in Brussels, it will be around 3,125 euro. The reason we pay less in Brussels is because you do not pay registration tax on the first 200k euros. The government call this abattement, meaning you only pay registration tax on the 50k euros. So the next costs are notary costs. These are costs that you need to pay the notary for the administrative work they have to do to prepare your file and the notarial deeds and so on. These costs are usually around 3,500 euros for the house. You can calculate the exact amount for your dream house by visiting the website called notaries.be. Next, you must pay extra notary cost for the mortgage loan itself. The bank gives you two options you can choose from. The first one is a full mortgage. With this option, you pay around 4,000 euros. The second option is a mandate, which costs less, like around 2,000 euros. The bank gives you these options because they give you a loan and they expect you to repay it. If you do not repay, they need the legal possibility to take the house, sell it, and use the money to repay the loan. Because the bank is lending you a large amount of money, the house is the guarantee for the loan. With a full mortgage, you pay more upfront. With a mandate, you pay less at the beginning, but if there are payment issues later, the bank can take you to the notary and you will end up paying the full mortgage cost anyway. With the mandate option, it is also possible that the bank will give you a higher interest rate because they are taking more risk. A lot of people choose to split the loan with half as mandate and half as full mortgage. And finally, another cost you need to know is the bank fee to process your file, which most banks usually charge at around 500 euros. Now, if you're a single parent or someone who has gone to different banks and they all said no, you might be asking yourself what other options you have. If you live in Flanders, you can go to the Vlaams Woningfonds. This is an organization created by the Flemish government to support people who want to buy a house. It is designed to help people with lower incomes, including single parents, to become homeowners. The program can finance up to 100% of the purchase price of the house. Their file fee is only around 100 euros. You still need to pay your notary costs yourself, but these costs are often lower compared to buying through a traditional bank. So the Vlaams Woningfonds has offices in different parts of Flanders. You can contact them and make an appointment. During the appointment, you need to bring documents such as your most recent tax assessment, your pay slips from the last 3 months, and any other proof of income that you have. You can also include child benefits or other income you receive. Based on this information, they will calculate how much they can lend you. In many cases, they can lend you up to 100% of the purchase price, meaning you don't need a down payment. You can start by visiting their website and entering all the information they ask for, such as your income, your expenses, how many children you have. Based on this information, they will give you an estimate amount of how much they can borrow. Their interest rate is lower compared to traditional banks. Wallonia and Brussels also have similar initiative. For Wallonia, you can visit the Fonds du Logement de la Région de Wallonie, and for Brussels, Fonds de Logement de la Région de Bruxelles. Please check the video description below for links to all the websites. Finally, when you find your dream house and send an offer, make sure the offer includes the condition that you will only buy the house if the bank approves your loan. This helps you avoid paying a fine if you do not secure financing. Always check the house with someone who has knowledge of buildings to look for hidden defects or hidden structural issues. You can ask the seller to reduce the price so you have, money left to fix things like, leaky roof and so on. And also, if you have outstanding bills with the government or unpaid taxes, the notary will calculate them and add them to the total amount you need to pay on the day you sign the notarial deed. So keep that in mind. And finally, always have your own notary to represent you instead of using the same notary for you and the seller. Thank you for listening to the video until the end. If you enjoyed this video, please kindly like it, leave a comment, share this video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, kindly do so. I'll see you next video.